Hi, I'm Hugh Sullivan, videographer for the Herald and Review, and last weekend I had the pleasure of shooting some footage at Starved Rock State Park for the Bald Eagle Watch weekend. My friend Jack Nuzzo at the Illinois Raptor Center had me come out and shoot a promotional video for the event, and it combined a lot of my favorite things. First off, I love Starved Rock State Park. I shot a wedding there a couple years ago and for a good friend of mine, and that was a lot of fun. And so aside from that, this is the first time that I've actually been there as a professional and not just visiting, and so that was a lot of fun. I also obviously love spending time with animals, and that's what this whole event was about. And then also having special access. I love being able to go up on stage and move around where most people have to stay in their seats and not stand up, and I was able to kind of move through the crowd and get good shots, and I always love that kind of access. But as always, there's going to be some challenges, so here's the challenges that I faced and how I overcame them. The first challenge was covering multiple simultaneous events, just like the Decatur celebration, where there's lots of different things happening on different stages, and some of them are repeating throughout the day, some of them are a one-time thing, so you kind of have to plan your day out to make sure that you cover all of them. At Starved Rock, there were 3 days of events happening at 3 different places. So I was going from the lodge, and then down the hill to the Visitor Center, and then across the Illinois River to the Illinois Waterway Visitor Center, where the Army Corps of Engineers had their facilities open for programs and eagle watching, and they even had a Native American dancer teaching some dances to the kids. And then the weather threw me a curveball. It was about 50 degrees on Saturday, and it was beautiful. I didn't have to wear a coat when I was going back and forth for equipment going out to my car, and I was able to stop and get a nice establishing shot on a slider of the lodge, but I had other plans for different nature shots and things I was going to get outside, but I thought, I'll get those on Sunday. I wanted to make sure that I was spending as much time with the big crowds inside on Saturday, getting everything I needed. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't scrambling on Sunday to get the different programs and events. So I spent most of that day inside. So when I'm leaving the hotel on Sunday morning, I look out the window and there's about an inch of snow on the ground, and it's coming down pretty hard. And so that scrapped a lot of my outdoor shooting ideas, and that was a lot of fun. And it was also a lot more challenging to get shots of the bald eagles. I went over to the Waterway Visitor Center and was filming them up against this drab, gray, overcast sky. So instead of having these, black and white birds popping from a blue sky like they were on Saturday, I was getting this really, really high contrast shot of these birds, and definitely wasn't as happy as I would have been if I would have shot them on a sunny day. But then again, if I would have spent most of the day on Saturday outside, I would have definitely missed out on a lot of the great reaction shots that I got on Saturday, because the crowds on Sunday weren't as big. So there was a trade-off there. Either way, I was going to be disappointed that I missed out on something. Oh, and then there was the GoPro. I had some ideas for this great sunrise shot that I was going to get over the river, kind of facing the Illinois Waterway Visitor Center from Starved Rock. And so I worked with one of the guys at the lodge, and he showed me a place where I could set the camera up out of the way, and I left it overnight thinking, oh, I'm going to get this great sunrise. It was a beautiful view, and then this is what I came back to the next morning. So that was out, and I thought, well, at least I'll have a funny behind-the-scenes video of all the snow accumulating on the lens. Nope, the camera died way before it started snowing, so I don't know what happened there, but that was disappointing. And then the third challenge was camera swapping. I was shooting on a couple of 5D Mark IIs with different lenses, and then I also had my XH-A1 mini DV cam with me, because that has a lot farther zoom. It's even, it's way better than the 70-200 that I have on the 5D. So I knew that I was going to need that for the close-ups of the eagles over the river. But when you're working with multiple cameras like that, it's you have to spend a lot of time swapping them out. And it always felt like, when I was setting down the XHA1 to grab the 5D and get some shots of people watching the birds, that's when the birds did something cool. And I couldn't just turn around and zoom in with the 5D. I needed to go back to the XHA1. Go back to that camera. Now there's nothing going on over there, but there's a great reaction shot from some kid watching the birds. So, that's just something, as a photojournalist, that's something that I deal with all the time, trying to anticipate action and make sure I'm in the right place at the right time. But part of it's being prepared, and then the other part of it is just luck and serendipity. And so there were some great shots that I got, but there were also a couple where I thought, oh, if I was here 2 seconds ago, that would have been perfect. But despite all of that, I got some great footage. I'm really happy with the promo that I'm going to be putting together, and I got to spend the weekend at Starved Rock, a place that I've loved since high school, and I got to spend time with a bunch of animal lovers, so that was fun. Oh, and the cherry on top for this whole thing was a trip to Utica to a place called Duffy's, where I tried a deep-fried mushroom about the size of a softball. And it wasn't a portobello mushroom, it was just a gigantic white mushroom. And it was amazing. And then I also got a deep-fried pretzel. Never heard of one of those before, but it was also stuffed with pepper jack cheese. If you ever have the option to do that, if you ever see that on a menu, do it. And that was the highlight of my trip. Bald eagles, peregrine falcons, bird lovers, they were great. Deep-fried pretzel with cheese. Stuffed inside it. It's good. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel. Go check out my personal channel where I'll have that promotional video eventually. And as always, check back every week where I talk about my experiences behind the camera.